Today we'll be reacting to Area Vibes reviews of South Venice, Florida.
And this was actually a request from one of our viewers in the comments. So if you have any requests of anything you want to see on the channel, leave us a comment, but let's jump into it. Okay, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
Yeah, that's a little out of date. I think the first thing to note is the overall score and how this stacks up with Venice. We did it on the channel previously, so if you want to watch it, go back to our older videos. South Venice is 67. Venice is a 79.
Oh, wow.
Do you feel like that's justified?
I feel like it's low, but I could see where they're coming from.
Yeah, and especially
it's like things to do and being very limited to what you can do.
Yeah, if you understand how Area Vibes works, then yeah. I think the big thing before we go through the actual details and really we're gonna get really granular and break things down is that Area Vibes does not consider anything nearby an amenity or a job. It's got to be in this very small defined area, even though South Venice and Venice are like right there next to each other. So let's check it out. Livability score
67 out of 100, and amenities right away an F.
I'm not surprised at all.
Makes sense
based on what Area Vibes.
I mean, but if we're being fair, there are a couple restaurants and grocery stores and actual department stores in Venice too.
Yeah, and
so for amenities,
actually, yeah, you know what? The more now you say that, because I want to say like the Walmart, the Target, the
Jacaranda Center.
Yeah, all
41. It's all in South Venice.
Yeah, the what's that? Breakfast
Bell's
place, Skillets.
Skillets, which is really good.
Yeah, like there's a whole bunch of stuff that are right in that little shopping center area there. Pizza Boss has great pizza, so there's a lot of stuff there. So never mind, you don't know anything Area Vibes. So I don't know. Let's check it out though. Coffee F1, probably a Star. Is there a Starbucks? Maybe there's a Starbucks in Target. That's probably what it is.
Oh yeah.
Yep. It's probably the Starbucks in Target. It has a Starbucks and YoFresh Yogurt Cafe. I never even heard of them. I'm gonna have to check them out and see if they even exist anymore. Yeah, because sometimes I think Area Vibes stuff is a little out of date, maybe.
Oh wow! Look at all those Fs.
Yeah, everything. It's everything. Spotlight Theaters is a theater that we go to. It's a solid theater.
So South Venice has a theater, but Venice doesn't have a theater.
Yeah, they have. Well, they have the theater, for actors. Yeah, but like a movie theater. Yeah, the South Venice is the only one you're gonna get.
Food and drink, it's an F, but it lists 4.
Yeah.
So let's see what those 4 are.
Well, actually, one other thing. What's this stadium? Unknown Stadium. Where is that? Is it? Yeah, well, let's see. Yeah, because that can't be the Atlanta Braves facility. So, all right. Well, I'm not gonna try to guess because I wonder if that's what Off the Wagon, because it did have like that big stage.
Yeah.
People would perform there, and Off the Wagon went out of business now.
Taco Bell.
Which, actually, come to think of it, the new brewery, me and my buddy went there the other day, and it's awesome. And I think the owners of Off the Wagon started that, and it's really, really awesome. And I'm pretty sure that's in South Venice, technically.
Technically, yes.
So
because it's over the bridge, or not over the bridge.
Yeah. So well, and I think even on Venice, some stuff over the bridge they considered Venice. It was up until about Venice Garden. So that other shopping center with bells and all that stuff is considered Venice, according to Area Vibes, which is really weird.
Is it on here though? Like,
let's zoom out once. Yeah, so here, the South Venice, and then Venice, I believe they were considering all the way to like here-ish. And we're gonna do another video of Venice Garden, so I guess we'll get a better idea of where they're drawing that boundary, because a lot of that shopping center, other one that's kind of more near, the bridges and stuff.
That would be Venice Gardens.
That feels like it should be Venice Gardens for sure.
Yes, there is even a sign saying Venice Gardens.
Yeah.
Anyway, for food.
Okay, this is definitely out of date.
Mad Salad, Off the Wagon, which was pretty cool and good food.
Yeah. The new place is awesome, though, that they opened just down the road. I will say that. So food is good, and the beers are awesome. Mad Salads, and then Mad Dogs is right next to Mad Salads. That's another good place.
Those are really good.
There's a bunch of little spots in there right by the theater. I'm trying to think what else off the top of my head.
Yeah, Maria's Pizzeria.
Also on the south end would be, it was Long Island Brothers Pizza. Now it's Tomato Alley, they renamed. That's really good pizza. It's more like New York style.
Ice cream.
Yeah. Actually, the more I think about it, there's a ton of stuff in South Venice.
A lot of restaurants and shopping too.
Chili's, Applebee's, if you want more chain type stuff. Like there's a ton of stuff in South Venice. The more I think about it, I'm like, no, they're really, really, really wrong on this one. Because they have more than maybe not more than Venice, because they're including that northern strip mall, but also, if you consider everything in the downtown, okay, I
Yeah.
could see it being better by a little bit, but there's a lot in South Venice. So, and Panda Express. Actually, I do like Panda Express.
Fitness. Okay, there are a few fitness centers. I mean, Planet Fitness is
Yes.
on that same strip, so I wonder if they're not including that.
It can't be. I mean, oh, you're saying that strip?
That strip, yeah.
Oh,
So like Englewood Road. Yeah, like right there, I think, ish.
oh, so what are they considering this area then?
Venice East, maybe?
Oh, yeah, you're probably right. That's probably Venice East. So we're gonna have to do a Venice East video now, I guess. But again, that goes to show you, like, okay, it's
Like not even a minute drive.
next door. You know what I mean? So like, you got to take some of this with a grain of salt. You might look at some of this and be like, oh no, South Venice is a terrible place to live because they don't have food, they don't have entertainment. It's like, if you are willing to drive 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, you can go to all this stuff right here.
Yeah.
And the island
Welland
is about the
Island.
same.
Yeah, Welland Park now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing too is with being in a residential neighborhood, a lot of times, you know, that's just how the country is set up. You don't have a lot of restaurants or things to do within residential areas. Like you have to drive out of the residential area. But if you're in a downtown, like say the island or Venice downtown, if you're in the downtown, then everything's like within walking distance or short driving distance to you. So it just depends location wise.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you willing to drive or not? And when we say drive, I mean, we mean a teeny tiny bit. So, you know, I mean, and don't get me wrong, the idea of having somewhere walkable, I think, is great, but you're usually going to also pay for that.
Right.
So where do we leave off? Groceries, F, which, yeah.
Walmart, Publix, Winn-Dixie are all in South Venice.
Yeah, again,
I mean, the island also
probably
has that.
Venice East, according to this, but I mean.
But I mean, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they even have actually, so this is one I've never heard. They have Southwest Venice and Venice Groves, which I've heard that before, but they're all including all that in their South Venice. So it's just kind of weird how they decide what is and isn't. Yeah, and it goes down quite a ways too. Basically all to Minnesota Beach. Yeah, well, technically not the beach because they're not including the island, but all right, well, parks. Oops.
Walmart Supercenter
now
is showing.
Now they're all of a sudden popping up. That's weird. Okay, so Walmart is in it.
Yeah. Well, but they're still giving it an F.
And saying 0. So maybe those are ones that are nearby. That
Yeah.
might. Richard's Food Porn, wasn't that on the island though? Pretty sure that's on the.
Yeah.
That's out of business now too. So yeah, they're just kind of pulling in stuff from all over for that, I think. Okay. Anyways, parks. The Audubon Rookery is actually really cool. We did a video of that. Go back to about the beginning of the channel. Well, maybe not the beginning, but like the
Mid.
yeah, after
A year or two ago.
Yeah, but the channel was going for about a year after we've been in Venice for about maybe 6 months. We did a video on that. Lots of birds. If you like bird watching, it's awesome. It's
Pretty cool. We also saw on a different occasion. We saw a gator and the bats too, with the bat houses.
At the Audubon. Okay, I thought you were gonna say a spoonbill.
That was somewhere else.
Think of cool birds. Yeah, I know, but I've heard people seeing spoonbills at the Rookery. So it's cool. It's almost like a little bird zoo, but it's not a zoo. It's just a park, and you can freely park and walk in, and it's all outside. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
It's like a little island for birds to just, like, they all just go into this huge tree in the middle. So it's pretty cool.
This is extremely confusing, though, how they do this, because so it says 4 parks, but then you click it, and then it's got like all these unknown ones. Woodmere, that's for sure a good park. They've got all kinds of playground equipment. There's half of an indoor gym, but I don't really know what the situation is on that. I know they have like taekwondo or karate for kids in there and Zumba and stuff in certain classes, but I don't know if it's open to use, but there's nice outdoor courts. There's some walking trails around there.
The dog park, it's also there.
Yes. So yeah, it's a great park. There's a lot there. Casperson, it's listing, but according to what they're showing on the map, I don't think it's actually what would be considered South Venice.
But I mean, they're still giving it an F. So they're listing all those things that are
and saying,
to do, but it's still an F.
Yeah, they're listing like 10 things and saying there's 4, but okay. Anyways.
Unless they're just listing, I think they're just listing things that are like outside of the...
That are nearby, yeah.
The range.
It just would be nice. Okay, so the Rookery they're considering in it. Unknown name playground is considered in it.
South Venice.
Yeah. Woodmere, that's probably also Woodmere. That's probably the Woodmere
What's
Dog
this
Park.
down here?
This one here?
Nope, this one.
Gulf Pines Memorial Park.
Okay.
Yeah, and then a couple other unknown ones. There's a couple like smaller ones within the South Venice area. Shops. This should be interesting. 7-Eleven.
Wow.
They always like to put their gas stations. I mean, they are shops. I mean, they're not wrong, but it's just they only like chains is what we've noticed. There are a few like mom and pop shops will make it on here, or mom and pop restaurants, but outside they got the Skechers listed. They've got Murphy USA, which is like a gas station that's part of Walmart. But again, like I don't know how much of that they're considering being in South Venice. But again, all that stuff's very, very short drive if it's not South Venice. So I think, the big thing to get out of this video is the context of what's available. If you're using resources like this, isn't always maybe
accurate.
Yeah, or just
that's why we always
the
say
reality.
Go to the city and experience it for yourself, because you'll get a much more different feel.
Or get a hold of a realtor that knows the area well. Get a hold of our team, maybe.
941-221-1897. Call or text at any time.
On to the commute. Do we do amenities? Yes, we did amenities. Okay, commute. So we already know, F. I think everywhere is an F that we've done. I think Sarasota's the one that maybe got like a C because they have a little bit more public transportation, and it seems like it's entirely based off that.
I would like to do, and maybe this is something we can do just for fun or whatever, but a different state and see how that compares to Florida.
Leave a comment if you want us to do that.
Just because I feel like, I don't know, and it might be my perspective, I feel like the whole country, it's built similar, where you have residential areas, maybe not so walkable. Florida, it's very different from Wisconsin in the sense that Wisconsin, I feel like it's a little more walkable because we have the sidewalks. And in Florida, it's very hit or miss unless you're part of an HOA community.
Yeah. Any Wisconsin small city is going to have sidewalks just about everywhere.
Unless you're like out in the country.
Right, yeah. And most of the suburbs, yeah. Country's pretty much the only place you won't, which, Florida's not the case. I think also, so since we did this for the other ones, we should mention, what an actual commute is, meaning like you driving would look like. South Venice itself is actually pretty light traffic. It's it's very Northport-y, I would say, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, it's different. I think it's in between Venice, like the island, and Northport. So the traffic, it moves slow, and the speed limits are pretty slow as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought you meant like slow as in like congested, like in the actual residential roads. Obviously, like Tamiami 41, there are some spots where there can be some backups for sure. 41 in Jacaranda, that's or Tamiami 41, same name. Or two names for the same road, I should say. In Jacaranda, that intersection can get pretty clogged in rush hours.
All of Jacaranda can get pretty.
Actually all of it.
Not clogged, but slow.
Yeah, and clogged at that particular intersection. Yes. But outside of that, most of it's pretty light, I would say, ish. I mean, you got your winter months that are busier, and especially spring break.
Which that also helps, going back to no sidewalks. South Venice, the traffic moves slow, like in the residential area, so you don't necessarily need sidewalks to go for a walk. Like a lot of people just go for walks without sidewalks, and it's fine.
And just to make that clear, South Venice does not really have sidewalks pretty much anywhere, or most of it, but And as far as commute for like if you had to drive somewhere for work, there are some job opportunities in Venice, as we've said on the channel. A lot of it's going to be service and tourism type based. Not a ton of tourism, but a little. We got our tourist season, but not a lot of touristy stuff.
So more like service jobs, like restaurants, stores. We also have the Amazon warehouse, lots of construction job opportunities, roofing, remodeling, all of that.
Yeah.
Schooling, like teacher jobs as well.
Healthcare,
yes.
And then, outside of that, if you want more options, a little more diversity as far as types of jobs, then you're probably going to look at driving up to Sarasota or somewhere in the Tampa Bay, Clearwater, St. Pete area, or down to Fort Myers. And maybe Orlando, but that would be a hike. So, all right, let's hit up the cost of living.
A minus? A.
Yeah. And I think that's where I thought it would shine. And I think one thing to, again, put into context is all that stuff they were giving an F is very, very close.
Yes.
Or maybe even part of South Venice, but they're not saying it is.
Yes.
But you can get a much lower cost of living.
Yeah, when you compare it to the island or like even Welland Park, which is very close to South Venice, you can get a pretty nice house, I think, in South Venice for your money. Maybe a little bit older. There is some new construction sprinkled here and there, but not as common. And the lots are going to be smaller just because the area is already built out.
Yeah, and I think one other thing noting with South Venice versus maybe Venice Island could compare with this, but a lot of like your HOA communities sprinkled throughout Venice are usually gonna have a little bit of a smaller yard, whereas South Venice and Venice Island, a lot of times there's an opportunity to get a little bit of a bigger yard, which is awesome. So I think that's good.
Yes.
And other big one, well and septic. You're gonna be on well and septic in South Venice. So for some people, that's like a deal breaker. You know, if you're looking for really good, if it's the quality of the water that's an issue, you can get, a water softener or a whole house reverse osmosis system or something like that. So that's something to consider.
Yeah, it also depends where in South Venice. Some areas do have public utilities, but most of it is on well and septic. And also if you're part of an HOA community, then you're definitely going to be on public utilities.
Yeah, that's very true and good point. Cost of living, C, goods and services, housing, etc. So yeah, I don't know. We've talked about that on the other ones. I mean, things in Venice in general, I'd say are right around average, maybe slightly above average for cost of like food and stuff like that. Tax rates,
income and sales tax A+. See, like
that's the
that
Florida
I wouldn't. Huh?
That's the Florida effect.
Yeah, I mean, income and sales tax. Yeah, it's just the same throughout Florida. So that's
they give pretty much
to say,
everywhere an A+. It seems like that we've done on the channel.
Which
so far.
I mean, it makes sense. You don't have an income tax. In Florida. So.
The sales tax. I don't know how it stacks up, compared to other states in our county or counties, I should say. But it's higher than from Wisconsin. It's a little higher
than the Midwest.
Yeah, from our Wisconsin small town that we're from. So.
And even like within Florida, different counties are going to be a little bit more and different, and some others a little bit less. So it all depends. But I would say between 6.5 and 7.5%.
Yeah. I guess I don't know, but if I had to guess, it's probably lower than like a New York or Cali. But I don't know. Let us know in the comments what the tax rate is. What is it here, even the sales tax?
7.5 maybe?
That's what I was going to say. Something like
Yeah. It's either 7 or 7.5.
Yeah. It was like around 5.5 in Wisconsin where we're from. Crime, B. So the higher the grade, the more crime. No, I'm just kidding.
It's doing great.
So B is a good grade, meaning there's relatively low crime, property crime, B-, violent crime, B, 1,532 crimes per 100,000 people, violent crime 253 per 100,000 people. So doing good there.
Yeah, small town, small area.
Yeah, not a lot to add on that, I guess.
Employment B-.
That actually feels a little high.
Yeah. Because I mean, if we're going by the grid lines on the map, there is no work in those areas. I think.
Again, it's not clear if they're including that like strip mall with like Walmart, or the other side, I should say, with Target and all the other stuff there, and then Walmart, which is right across the street. And it might even be that Walmart's included and the other ones aren't because they're across the street. So, But
either way, to give it a B- for employment when it's mostly residential.
Yeah, and just mostly like very limited types of jobs, service. There are a few like Walgreens and smaller medical type facilities, but not like hospitals. So I don't know. You're very limited to the job opportunities in that area.
Well, and you can get to jobs within the area within 15-20 minutes.
Right.
So it's you're a normal commute, so it's not that bad.
Right. Yeah. But based on their criteria, I just feel like they actually gave it higher than I would have thought they would have. Yeah. So, all right. Good job on that one, I guess, area vibes. So, household income, D+.
That's higher than what I thought.
The amount, 60,000,
but that's household.
Yeah, that's household. So, that, I always, immediately think like
one person.
Yeah. D+. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty fair, I guess. I wouldn't know what the average person makes in South Venice because we haven't walked around and asked them.
And a lot of people in the area too are either snowbirds or retirees, so their income is going to be less. So say a couple, 30,000 each.
Yeah, true.
It's pretty accurate, I think.
And I think one thing also to note with South Venice is a lot of people move there because either A, they kind of like the vibe, it's a little more quiet and country feeling, and or B, it's a little more affordable. So it would kind of line up that if someone, isn't from a lower income household, that, you would move somewhere else a little more affordably. So, and if you just want to maybe save a bunch of money and you're making way more than that, hey, do you. Yes. It's a good option if you like a little bit more of that quiet feel. Unemployment. 2.1. That's definitely out of
A plus.
8 and an A plus. I'm pretty sure it's higher than that now for Florida as a whole. I don't know the specific numbers for South Venice, but all right, sure. We'll go with it. Health, F.
Would make sense. I mean, there is no hospital in South Venice, but again, you're probably 15-20 minutes to North Venice's hospital, Sarasota Memorial Hospital, and also now Northport/Welland Park area is going to have a Sarasota Memorial Hospital as well.
And that one would probably quicker to get to, I would think.
It's gonna... Inglewood Hospital in Inglewood would be closer, probably, depending.
Yeah, actually, the more I look at it on the map too, South Venice kind of puts you smack between like all those areas and their options. I mean, your Welland Park area is kind of throughout here. Your North Venice is going to be up here-ish, and down here is Inglewood. So, and again, pretty much all those you can get to in like 15-ish minutes.
About the same time.
Yeah, just depends on what end of South Venice you're on, I guess. Air quality is an A. They've given that to pretty much everywhere we've done on this coast. I think it's because it's by the coast that is probably helping it. A lot of fresh ocean breeze coming in, and that's why you need to live breezy. So
not freezy.
Not freezy. That's for you, Paul. One of our viewers that ended up buying a house with us. So
yes,
we got to shout him out. Housing, A plus. And I think all the stuff we talked about before kind of explains that. Okay, we got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
Yeah, that's a little out of date. Home price, B plus, but $205,900. Do not expect those prices anymore.
No, that's 2019.
Probably.
Maybe beginning 2020.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Very beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, like everything kind of skyrocketed, I think, more like around April,
summer.
May, June.
Yeah.
Yeah. So home appreciation, 26%. And if that's based on that data, now that appreciation is probably like 70% and an A plus 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 plus.
Schools an F.
I don't think there is a school.
No.
There might be like some middle schools and elementary schools, I guess, but I can't think of any in that area off the top of my head. Like a Christian or religious school of some sort. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Is that South Venice then?
I think it's on the way to Northport, but I think it's right before you hit that Northport border. But again, that might be like East Venice or something. It's probably actually East Venice.
Well, Venice Middle School, it's in the southern end of Venice. Is that not considered?
Apparently not, because they don't have anything listed.
Yeah, because Venice Middle, it's in between. Well, that might be Venice East.
Sky Academy, Garden Elementary School, Venice Christian School. Is that considered South Venice?
No, that's on the other side, so you have to go this way.
Oh, yeah, they moved the map on us for some reason. There is one like kind of like over here. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, Venice Middle.
No, I'm talking about the Christian school or whatever. There's like one over there.
Oh, yeah, Venice Christian, isn't it?
No, that's on Venice Avenue. That was up here. There's another one. I can't remember what it's called. I did some basketball skills training with some kids at the outdoor court there once. So
I guess I thought it was Venice Christian. Okay.
They're giving it a C plus for high school graduation rates, which is good. So this is definitely, if you would live in South Venice, it is school choice, but most people would probably go to Venice High. But maybe coming soon, Welland Parks High School, once that's built, it might be closer for you. And even really Lemon Bay, if you're on the south end, in Inglewood, would maybe not be a bad pick. But they always tend to give an F for this, I shouldn't say F overall, but definitely for like the actual schools, they'll give really low ratings, but then their test scores and their graduation rates will be like, oh, that's an A or a B. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. Area Vibes is kind of meh. Much prefer niche personally.
And ratings A plus.
This is from people that live there.
So let's see. Oh, it's only one review.
One user review, A plus. The surveys, we feel like, when people are just being surveyed and not like leaving a review, are usually a little more accurate. Because if you're leaving a review, usually you're really happy, but more often than not, you're not going to go review someone unless you want to flame them or the company or the business or the area in this case. And so for them to have one review and it's an A plus, hey, that's not, we're doing all right. Maybe if they would have got two, would have bumped it down to a C, but A plus ain't bad. So yeah, and then the surveys
two and it's still an A plus, so not bad, I guess.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We are going to be doing Venice Gardens, but if you do want to buy or sell a home in the South Venice area,
make sure to call, text, or email our team 941-221-1897.
We'd love to help you find your dream home. And if you want to see more about what life in Venice, Florida is like, check out this video right here. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on all notifications to learn more about this entire area and
live breezy.